It took 13 hours and a half of TikTok blackout for Americans to realize that everything they've been told about China were all lies. Now, let me just say this, and I don't want to make it about myself and my people, but just wait. Wait until you get to learn about Africa. That is when you're going to realize that there's so much. There's so much that you've been lied to, and you have a lot to unlearn about different societies.
How you feel, U.S. government? How you feel now?
I really think America has made a huge mistake when banning this app, because now that we're all on Red Note, we're actually learning that a lot of the crap that they've been talking about China is absolutely not true. We're like, wait a second, you guys have universal healthcare? You don't have to pay for an ambulance when you get picked up to the hospital. You have amazing cars for very low prices. Huawei, the amazing phones they have, are also so much better than iPhones. And all of that is forbidden here. We cannot have any of that. Wait a second, you can walk at night outside and not be afraid? There's no mass unalivings in schools? What? What's that like? And I had someone comment on my Red Note being like, now that you're here, I hope you can see that we're not the beasts that, your news made us seem to be. And I was like, we never thought you guys were. I feel like we always knew it was bullshit. And yeah, no country's perfect. There's a lot of issues everywhere in this world. But it's very interesting. We're learning much more, I think, than they wanted us to know. And I think that's not a very good idea for our government. Also, I'm shocked by how quickly people are picking up Mandarin. Like, I feel like you guys need to teach me. How do I do this as quickly as you? Because it's incredible. Like, Americans from Alabama are now speaking fluent Mandarin in like 3 days.
Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Robi Masaga. Today's topic is very mind-blowing. Now, the other day, American thought that the best thing to do is for them to ban TikTok. And, it's very ironical because immediately immediately TikTok was banned. All Americans, let me just say majority of Americans migrated from, obviously TikTok is not there, so they had to find an option. So they migrated to another Chinese app. And that is why I'm saying it's very ironical, because why ban a Chinese app for your people to migrate to another Chinese app? Like, what have you helped? So majority of them migrated to another app called Red Note. And these people have, since they joined Red Note, all they've been doing is complaining after complaining, because majority of them, some of them are saying they're woke now, because what they discovered in Red Note is mind-blowing. Majority of them realized that everything they've been told about China were all lies.
And I work 3 jobs just to maintain ownership of the crappy house that I'm in.
So the Red Note experience has a lot of Americans reeling at how inexpensive life is in China and how many of the people that they're speaking to own their own homes as opposed to renting and can pay incredibly small amounts of money for groceries. And Americans are beginning to wake up and realize that maybe they have been propagandized too, that they're in the best system. And I mean, a lot of the left-leaning ones already knew, but a lot of people have been ignoring it and sort of burying their head in the sand in a way that's very unhelpful to them and their families. But do you know what's the more interesting thing that I didn't actually anticipate? I knew Americans would suddenly be realizing that Chinese people have it much better than the American government would like to tell them. But a lot of Chinese people who are speaking to Americans on Red Note are realizing that the propaganda they've been receiving from the Chinese government is true. America has fallen behind in so many ways.
The government has been lying to us about China for decades. Now that we've all gotten on Red Note and we can see the lifestyle that all of the Chinese people have, a lot of us Americans are pissed. The price of going out to eat, the price of groceries, public transportation. And the people on Red Note are so flabbergasted that we have to work 2 jobs just to keep our roof over our head.
I can't believe it. I'm watching videos of Americans finally realizing they've been heavily brainwashed by their own government saying that China is bad after being on Red Note for just a couple of days. Now, I've already seen some content from there that's been shared on this platform, and I gotta tell you, they're pretty spot on. I mean, they have developed a lot in the past 40 years. Just Western propaganda just makes them sound evil. But if you were to ask any genuine Chinese person about how their country is, they'll tell you honestly. And yet, the US are dumb enough to believe what their government tells them.
How you feel, U.S. government? How you feel now? 2 days ago, I had no idea what Redbook was, or Red Note. Didn't even know it was a real app. Didn't know, had no idea. Now, if you've been following me long enough, you know about Hollyweird, and you know how late I am on certain things, so you know I'm not lying. I had no idea what Red Note was. But the U.S. government started f***ing with me. And now I know about Redbook. It's like firefighters going out to elementary schools, teaching kids how not to start fires by telling them how fires start. And then those kids start fires. 2 days ago, China didn't have my phone number. I just willingly gave it to them just now. And that's your fault, US government. You did that. I didn't do that. You did that. And now I'm about to go make some content for some Chinese people. And they seem very nice over there. I feel like an NBA player who wasn't getting the right amount of love where he was at, so he decided to play overseas. And now he playing overseas and he getting some love, some real love. Because they know, we just want to play some ball. I'm just here to have some fun. I just want to play some ball. Oh, also, it's not Red Note or Red Book. It's Xiaohongshu. I'm now on Xiaohongshu. 2 days ago, I couldn't say that. So to the US government, I just want to say, Shishini.
TikTok going dark was a blessing in disguise. I believe so. Because tell me, if you people were not given those 13 hours without TikTok, you wouldn't have learned everything that you've learned about China. You wouldn't. And ask yourself, why is that? Just immediately after it was banned, how come they took 13 hours to bring it back? Just immediately after you people had started to complain about how much you've been lied to. That is when they bring TikTok back. Ask yourself why. And I blame majority of you because you people think that the American dream still exists. So you don't want to, think outside the box. All you do is think about American dream. You don't even know people are living, a very manageable lifestyle out here. Life outside here is very simple life. Some of you have to work 3 jobs. 3 jobs for you to survive. 3 jobs. You saw what Chinese were talking about. Some of you can't even afford groceries out there. You have to work so hard for you to afford them. When in China, life is simple, fair, very manageable. You buy a house, you don't have to keep paying, taxes after taxes. Then immediately after you people learned about this, information, it's not even that much. They bring back TikTok because they don't want you to keep learning more about whatever that is happening outside America. Because tell me, imagine if they gave you 2 days without TikTok, how much would you learn? Because right now they've brought TikTok back. Do you have a reason to go to Red Note? You don't have a reason to do that. So if they gave you 2 days without TikTok, you would have learned so much. And these are things that we've been telling you guys, but all you do is, look at us as though we don't know what we are talking about. We've been telling you these things. And that's why I said earlier, wait until you learn about Africa. That is when you're going to realize that you've been lied to about so many things, about different societies, because there's so much that happens outside America. What's fascinating is how their perception of China has completely flipped. For years, they've been told about how China is complicated, how it's oppressive, how it's unaffordable for an average person, how it's unfair living there. And people believed. But it took 13 and a half hours for you to interact with the locals in China, for you to realize that everything you've been told is a lie. when people have been telling you on social media. There are so many apps right now. If you want Instagram, you can find information. If you want TikTok, if you want Facebook, you can find all this information. People have been telling you over and over, but you didn't want to listen. Life in China is very simple. Life in China is very fair. These people don't even have an issue with Americans as American thought. I have seen some videos of Chinese people telling Americans, we don't have an issue with you guys. It took 13 and a half hours for you to discover the truth. And trust you me, you have so much to learn. You still have a lot to learn. They brought TikTok back. So basically what they're trying to do right now is block you guys from getting more information about other societies. And I want you people to learn. I want, especially about Africans. I want you to learn the truth about Africans. That is when you're going to realize that everything you people know, you have to unlearn it because they're all lies. Sometime in life, you have to go through struggles, you have to go through challenges for you to learn the truth or for you to get whatever that you want to achieve. You people they had to ban TikTok. Some of you suffered emotionally, mentally. I believe so. That is why you came with, different videos. Some of you were crying tears. They were asking the government, why would you ban TikTok? But at least for those 13 hours, you learned a lot. So sometimes you have to go through struggles and challenges for you to, get something better or, learn something better than what you know. Some of you were shocked about day-to-day life in China, about groceries, about rent, about healthcare. These are things that in America, you have to work so hard. You have to struggle for you to afford them. Some of you have to have 2 to 3 jobs for you to afford that kind of lifestyle. But you realize that in China, life is not even that hard as you thought. It's not very tough as you thought. You people have to struggle, you have to sweat, you have to work so hard. You don't even have a social life. All you do is going to work, coming back home, going to work, coming back home. You don't have a social life. You can't even, engage with your kids, interact with them. Some of you don't even know who your kids are. Yes, you know them. You know them by, this is my son, this is my daughter, but you don't even know the real person. You don't know who your child is. And that is why we hear so many cases of kids going to school with firearms, unaliving their peers, because you don't have a social life. All you do is work and work and work, because you have to afford that kind of lifestyle. You still think that the American dream still exists? You guys still have a lot to unlearn. And I thank whoever came with the idea of taking TikTok down. I thank that person because at least it opened your eyes. You now know the truth. And you still have homework to do. You still have homework to do because you still have a lot to learn about other societies. What sparked my interest in their reaction is when majority of them started saying that they've realized that they've been lied to. And I'll still say this, we told you. These are things that we tell you each day. We tell you, but you think that maybe either we are bluffing or maybe we don't even know what we are talking about. But let me just say, we've told you. Some of you are even saying you're woke. You're woke now because you've seen the light, you've seen the truth. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this particular topic. Do you think TikTok going dark in America was a blessing in disguise? And who do you think benefited from this? And also, let me know what you think about apps like RedNote. Do you think they are reshaping global perspective? Let me know in the comment section. And if you liked this particular episode, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share as well. And until next time, stay woke. Peace.